All right, we are recording and live. So this is the first call for my coach training. I know Jennifer had done one last week with her team as well, but we just thought it might be more beneficial for us to, while we're running our coach training separate, just to kind of get our calls together to share ideas and just, hear different viewpoints from one another. Because I think sometimes you can hear it from one person, and then when you hear the same thing from someone else, it just sounds totally different, and you get a different idea or a different spark, whatever it is. So first off, welcome. It is, we're coming into the last quarter of the year. It's crazy to think that we're halfway through September already. Hello, Kelly. Welcome, welcome. We are just getting started. But with this time of year and just throughout the year, you always have to realize that there's different things that are always going to come up. So no matter what, I think this time of year is yielding back to school things. It's back to school this. And even if you don't have kids, people you talk to have kids who have back to school things, or summer's ending. So, people who were pushing for summer goals, maybe they don't care now because they're wearing like big baggy sweatshirts, or maybe their skinny jeans don't fit because they haven't put a pair of jeans on since March, and now they go to put jeans on and their jeans don't fit. So really, I think a key thing to think about is always, what's going on and what are people running into and what are they feeling and what are they seeing, and how you can tie that in to running a successful challenge group. Because we're all running challenge groups and we're all out there to try to recruit other people who want to make a change and join us in this. And what's going to make somebody want to join with you is going to be however you share that through your challenge group ideas and your posts on social media, and however they see you sharing what you're doing with other people. And I think there's so much. One of the girls, I don't know if she'll be getting on tonight, but who, recently got started, she was like, I feel overwhelmed. Like, there's so much coach stuff. And there is a lot of information. And it's kind of, it's a struggle in the sense of, how much do you share? Because some people have more time and they're more anxious to get started. And other people are like, I want to start coaching because this is fun and exciting. But I'm still working on myself, and I've got this job, and I've got this, and I got that. So different people have different levels of commitment that they can make to this. I think the important thing for you to realize is that whatever you have to give is what you can use to grow your business. And it doesn't have to be, you might see, multiple videos shared and information given. The training groups don't close down. It's not like the information gets deleted. So you can always mark videos. I don't know if you know this, but when you have a video on Facebook, you can always mark it to save for later. So if there's something that you haven't got, save it for later. Or, maybe you open a document on your computer, on your notes on your phone, and you put certain links in there that you want to go back to and listen, because they may not be relevant right now to you, but they might become relevant down the road. But when it boils down to what you really need to know at this point, and as you're getting ready to begin building a business as a coach, is you need to first and foremost really think about what you want to do with it. I was talking to a girl earlier who she was like, if I sell a challenge pack to my sister, am I considered a discount coach? I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter what you're considered. We talk about discount coaches who are just getting a discount, and hobby coaches who are just in it for the hobby, or people who are building for a business. Those can change as you progress through. That doesn't really matter. But whatever your goals are, know what they are. Because, if you just want to be working on yourself and bringing some challengers along with you, I think that's kind of where Jennifer was when she got started. It was one of those people recognized the success she had in her personal journey. They were going to jump in. They could have joined her, or she could have referred them to me. And she was like, well, why not? I'll just take it. And it was a slow build. And that's really how I got started, was more of I can share it with these people. And it took me a while before it evolved to a business, to where it evolved to where, on Sunday I hosted a call, and then on Monday I hosted a call, and then on Tuesday I hosted a call. I didn't used to do all that. That wasn't how it always was in the beginning, but it's grown and it has become so much more. So just really think about whatever your goals are. And your goals don't have to be the same as the other people who are in the training group with you. Your goals are yours. So if you want to help one person this month get started, pat yourself on the back, because that one person's life will be greatly impacted by whatever you do to help them. And if you want to help 3, fantastic. 3 people in your next challenge group, set that goal, make it a point to invite those people to help 3 more people this month. And just know whatever your goals are, it's fine. It's yours. And then there's information that will be shared in the group about rank advancing, about discount coaches that most, a lot of us start as, versus just signing up customers. All that stuff will be there. And if you're at a point where that's where you want to invest your time, great. But above anything else, what really matters in the beginning is that you're sharing your own journey publicly. You have the confidence to put a picture out there, and it doesn't have to be a shorts and tank top, bra, underwear, swimsuit type of before and after picture. It has to be a picture that represents you and what you've learned thus far and what you have to offer other people. Sometimes my before and afters are very posed, standard before and afters. Other times they're just snapshots that were taken of me of 2 different times in my life where I can share something different. But you'll notice if you look at my wall, I share things about my journey all the time. I like to share my coaches and challengers too, because it also shows that I'm duplicating this with my team. I'm duplicating results into my challenge groups. This is what you can get if you're a challenger. But I share me because people who are friends with me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram or whatever it is, they are related to me in some way, shape, or form. So they're going to connect to what I share about myself above anything else. So it's important to share other people, because then there's some people who may not relate to me at all, but still might need my help in some way. So I will highlight other people's results and stuff, but I'm constantly sharing different things. Today I shared my 3-day refresh results. Last week I shared like a picture from like 10 years ago to today. Like I did one of those types of things, just wearing regular old clothes. So just different ways, like start to think about that. Find some old pictures. If your pictures aren't digital, if you weren't, active on Facebook tagging pictures of yourself 5 years ago or whatever it is, find one and talk about how different things are. I love saying that I feel like I aged backwards because I think of how I felt when I was in my 20s to where I am now. And like I was awful and I ate awful and my activity was bad. And I've learned that I need to invest in myself to invest in others. And that's what I try to instill in other people. Whatever it is that you've learned from your health standpoint, from a weight loss standpoint, that is what we have to do. And it is through social media and it is through sharing our journey, but it doesn't have to be in a salesy way. It doesn't have to come across that you're selling someone a challenge pack. It comes across in a way that you have a solution to somebody else's problem. And I think when you remind yourself that, where would you be if your coach didn't help you? So like anytime you're thinking like, oh, I don't know if I can post this, like feel a little vulnerable putting this out there, or I don't know if anyone's going to like it. Like before you think about not doing it, just be like, where would I be if my coach didn't offer her advice? If my coach wasn't so transparent with herself and inviting other people to join her, where would my life be? And then realize that whatever happened to you that got you to a point that said, hey, I want to do this too, and I want to be a coach, that you hold that same opportunity in your hands through your social media, through your words with people. It doesn't even have to be on social media. It can be through talking to people who you know. But that's like I try to remind myself that, like, where was my life before this? Where is it now? I have that opportunity to give that same thing to somebody else. So you know what? Just hit post on the post, share things, know that some things are going to work better than others. I've constantly been changing and reflecting my social media from the get-go. That does not change because there's always something new happening. There's something new. There's a different way to share things. There's different roles. There's always something different. So just keep trying different things. If you see a post does really well on Facebook, note that and try to do that again, in another week. And, just figuring out what your followers like and what they want to see from you is going to be huge. And then, along with sharing your journey and your, fitness and nutrition things and whatever it may be on your social media, just remember to stay true to you. As you're sharing all these other things that you've done and you've changed and it's exciting, make sure you also share other stuff that's not related to Beachbody, just so that people see you in a full, complete picture, and not just you as a Beachbody coach, but you as a mom or as a sister, as an aunt, as a cousin, as a friend, whatever it may be, that when they can see you in those different limelights, and that just makes you that much more relatable, where they're like, okay, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it too. So I want to just pause real quick. Does that all make sense? Any questions at this point? All good. And I know Jennifer is doing her challenge group next Monday. That's my plan as well. So just realize that, like, you've got almost a week. You've got 5 more days. My recommendation to you is, like, leading up to that start date is to share 5 different ideas of ways that you can invite to a challenge group, whether it's a Transformation Tuesday, sharing your own journey, whether it's sharing something you did in your challenge group. Like, I remember when I first did a Flex Friday, and then, like, years later, like, I remember I did like a Flashback Friday type of thing. Be like, I remember the day that my coach was like, "It's Flex Friday, flex a picture," and I was like, "You're a fool. There's no way I'm taking a selfie and flexing in front of a camera. Like, there's no way I'm going to do that. You're a crazy coach. What am I doing in this challenge group? This thing is dumb." Like, those were the thoughts that went through my head. And now, like, you tell me it's Flex Friday, I'm going to flex and take a picture. I'm going to put it all over social media. So I don't care anymore. And that, like, I've changed. And I remember doing a post like that, like, but it was a way to say, like, I remember when my coach did this thing in this challenge group, and I just thought she was crazy. And now here I am doing it because I've learned that my vulnerability on social media has a power to impact people. So some things that you share aren't going to be direct, join my challenge group, join my challenge group, join my challenge group. But they are going to be things that are going to be talking about challenge group. I did this in my challenge group. I shared this recipe with my challengers. I want to share it with you. This is what I made. Like, not everything has to have a call to action to join the group, but the more you share, little, like, dropping little breadcrumbs of what is involved with this challenge group, what people can do. And then, I always do like a last call on, like, Sunday night before challenge group starts. And as a way to get, like, as you're talking about it, and even if maybe you said, I'm going to help 3 people, or I'm going to open up 3 spots in my group, or whatever it is. I always throw a number out there because I think it just shows that there's exclusivity, there's interest in it. And you can be like, you know what? Spots filled up, I've opened 2 more. And, like, those types of things will get those people who are watching on the hook, like, all right, I'm going to try this. If you haven't already, it's not too late to create an event. You can create an event on your personal Facebook page and just make it a public event and just invite, 10, 20, 30 people, 30 friends, 30 people who you already know and already trust, whether it's family or, close friends, and just say, this is what I'm doing. I've been impacted this way, and I want to invite you to join me in my next challenge group. And if you're interested in what that entails, shoot me a message and we can talk about what would be a good fit for you. Because the first thing people are going to ask is what it costs. And to be honest, it's going to cost depending on what people pick. So, just having that event, doing an event like that is another way that you can invite to your challenge group beyond your post that might be at a more personal level, where somebody who's watching your stuff is like, that sounds cool, but they're not ever going to message you. And maybe you don't think of that person right away to send them a private message. But if you're going to create an event and that event is on your public page and they see it, they might be like, okay, like, people can click interested in an event easier than they can, like, get the nerve to send you a message. So, as you have from now until next Sunday or Monday, as your challenge group gets started, make that your goal to get 3 people in, 3 people to join. Maybe they're just going to do Shakeology. Maybe they need the fitness and challenge group. Maybe they don't know where to start. Talk to them about that. Like, I just talked to Jennifer. I have a Wufoo application. If you look at the bottom of pretty much all of my blog posts, there's a challenge group application, and it runs through questions that I got from my coach whenever I was first starting. But that's how I gather information. So when someone just straight up says, hey, I'm interested, and, like, if you haven't talked to that person for a while, it's like, okay, well, where do I start? Like, I don't know what you've done. I don't know what you like. I have that form, and I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm excited to help you get started. Take a couple minutes and just fill this form out so I can learn a little bit more about you, and then I can best coach you towards the best route for you to take, or, so that we can help you get started in the group on Monday. Because somebody comes back to you and says they already have Beachbody on demand, then maybe they just need the Shakeology. Somebody comes back to you and says they haven't worked out in 10 years, well, then they're probably going to need UV2 or Country Heat or something else. So, like, that form encompasses all of the questions. And if they aren't willing to take 5 minutes to complete the form, they're probably not going to drop $160 to join you anyways. So it also just shows people who are legit interested in joining you versus not. And if you are comfortable with Google Forms, you could create one through Google Forms. I started with WooFoo. They're embedded throughout all of my blog posts. I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. But Google Forms are super easy. And if you want to just make a list of a couple questions, you could just say, can you answer these questions for me so that we can, get started? And you can use that too. But I like having the form because I think it formalizes it. And it really shows people who are interested in doing something versus, just blindly responding to something. So if you want to check that out, just WUFOO, WooFoo, and you can create up to 3 forms for free. You can look at my blog and see at the top there's a What is Coaching tab, and there's a Join a Challenge Group tab. And those are the 2 that I primarily send to people, and they're just quick and easy ways to get people's information. And then one of the questions is, do you work with a coach? Have you ever done Shakeology? And do you own any Beachbody programs? So you can kind of use that again to just facilitate your conversation with them. So forms or just the questions to ask, having that, that's my outline. Like when someone just especially if I get someone now most of the people who I work with, I don't know on a personal level. So I don't know anything about them. So that form is how I have conversations with them. So I definitely recommend just having that handy, and then it's super easy. You don't have to, if you're out busy and you're doing something and someone's like, hey, I'm interested in your group, awesome, copy paste it, and then you're done. You don't have to personalize it really. I remember being feeling weird when I sent the form to people I knew, people who I knew more closely, and I'm they're gonna think I'm weird because I'm sending them a form. But it formalized my process, and then it also gives you a tracking system because it helps you know who was interested, who didn't commit, and it gives you a way to follow up with those people. All good? All good, all good. Any other questions? Jennifer, do you have anything you want to add? Anything else that you're doing?
Haven't really thought of anything yet. We went over a lot about the inviting process and things last Tuesday night, okay. So can't think of anything that we haven't already went over.
Good deal. And on another note, my daughter got the game ball, her T-ball game tonight.
Awesome.
It's super exciting. Only girl on the team. Proud mom moment. That's besides the point. And then I'm going to, so I talked to Jennifer a little bit about this. I'm actually in the midst of it now, so I don't have anything to show you because it's a little crazy, but I'm going to do a call tomorrow for the Diamond group, the Rising Stars group from the Dream Team. Basically, if you listen to Katie Erster's call last night just about volume and just all the products we offer and different ways that we can help people beyond the challenge pack, it just really got my wheels turning. And I did this once before where it was kind of if you think about being invited to the book parties or any sort of online party where they're highlighting different products and sharing different products for you to buy. What I want to do team-wide is an online party where we would, share information about the different products that we have, and it would be a flash sale. So if you purchase during this time, Energize, you get this discount, and it would be in the form of a gift card. And if you purchase, Hydrate during this time, or Focused Energy, Focused Recover, if you purchase, Energize, I feel is the biggest one, and then Recover, those 2. But just highlighting the other, I actually use Activate daily now. My nails are longer than they've ever been and stronger than they've ever been. I'm loving the Activate. And I use Activate. I use a half a scoop of all the Shakeology boosts in my shake every day. I use Energize twice a day. My husband uses the full performance. We use it all, but I feel not everyone understands what it all can do for you and what it can do for other people. Some people may not be interested in Shakeology as a meal replacement, but if they're using a protein powder, when they're post-workout, Recover's awesome. Not only from a muscle standpoint, but it tastes freaking amazing. So if you're looking for people who want protein, that's your protein shake, not Shakeology. So there's just so many other ways, and it's cheaper. So if someone's just looking for a protein and not a meal replacement, Recover tastes amazing. You can bundle it with Energize, big win-win. So my goal is just to really help educate everybody on what these other options are. I feel I use them, and I'm sure there's other things that I don't use that I, hopefully, we can kind of just dissect things. So that's in the works. We're going to have a call tomorrow, and then once kind of have a game plan, I'm probably going to do it. My pencil date is September 25th. And like, if you think of how our coaching, like our coach training sneak peeks go, where like we just kind of blast it out in an hour time frame or throughout one day, that's what this would be. Like at the end of the month, hopefully people have already met their Success Club goals, where we can then, you know, hone in and do some sort of like event where you can help like people who, like, I think of people who drink 5-Hour Energy, maybe they would like the Energize, or people who drink like canned Starbucks espresso things. Like I have a cousin who drinks like 3 a day. I'm like, A, that nutritionally is disgusting, and B, you can actually get it cheaper this way. So like just understanding those types of things, how you can then help so many other people so many different ways. But that's all I've got. Thank you guys very much for getting on tonight. I hope it was helpful. I will post the recording just to share for people who couldn't make it, and we'll continue on our merry way. Thanks for getting on tonight. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Bye.